Hey everyone, Danielle here. Today is Wednesday, November 6th. My pronouns are she, her. This is the first clip of my November vlog. And not gonna lie, I am not doing well this morning. I'm not going to dwell on it too long, but it is obviously quite pertinent to the stitching. I had said at the end of my last vlog I was going to be pulling out my election piece. I think I might have said, I can't remember if I did, that I had debated like not stitching the Kamala specific motifs until after we knew the results. But I did have to make a fairly drastic shift in order to fit the shoe, and I was kind of flying through the piece, and I didn't want to like count all the way down from king to speaking or from without to historically. So I like bit the bullet, made the decision to move the word well to fit in the shoe, and then I stitched the cat paw, and then I stitched the shoe. And so just to show you, because like I mean, I could put a picture in, I guess, but when I picked this up, I had and I didn't quite have a full cue. So when I picked this up, I finished the word queen. I did without a king question mark, moved the well, did the paw, did the shoe, did historically speaking more, and then I had started on this box on election day, I guess, maybe the night before I started on this box. And so really all I had left was this full box, and then whatever I was going to do here, which I hadn't fully decided yet. I had considered either backstitching in Harris walls, or I was going to do comma LA for Kamala. And so, but I just like worked on this yesterday while I, the phrase that they coined was, I was nauseously optimistic when, polls first closed. And then I would say by the time we hit 9 p.m. or midnight Eastern, I pretty much had no hope anymore that there was a path to 270. So I am on very little sleep right now. My anxiety kicked into full force yesterday morning, and it resulted in me getting about 3 hours of sleep before I had to get up for an appointment. And then I went to bed early, and I was hoping to sleep well through the night, but I woke up after about 4 hours, and like I knew, I mean, I looked it up, but I knew that it was gonna say that Trump had secured the 270 electoral votes needed. And so I was like, okay, what can I put into this spot now? Because I am not going to, I didn't want to just like leave it as a, like go Kamala go piece. The only reason for me to finish it would be to have my emotions stitched into it too. So I found a little broken heart and a little alphabet that I could fit it in this spot to say R.I.P. Joy. And this is actually a floss. I did not use the same floss as the black over there. This is actually a floss that I bought last year when I was processing some grief, and I stitched a little bit of this floss into my Spirits of the Dead piece, which that's just, I don't know how much, I think I talked about it last year. I won't really get into it, but regardless, so I saw this floss in my drawers and I was like, well, yep, that works. I've already used it for grief stitching, so we're gonna use it for some more grief stitching. I will go ahead and finish this piece just because clearly I have a lot of work in it. There's not, all I have left to do is finish this box. I was gonna do a border with pearls. I don't know. I had ordered some pearls and none of them were the right size. I have some more pearls coming today that I don't know if those will work either. Maybe if those pearls do work, instead of a border, I'll just do like a spattering of pearls through the piece. I really would like to get pearls in here too. Yeah, so that's where we are with this. I don't know if any more stitching will happen on this before I go to the beach. I'm leaving in about 4 or 5 hours. Just a quick, where my aunt and I are spending 2 nights there. And then my plan, if she had won, was to finish this on Inauguration Day. I'm not gonna want, like, if I'm gonna stitch anything during like the vote certification or Inauguration Day, it's gonna be rage. It's gonna be rage, pissed off, angry stitching. It's not gonna be like grief, reminiscent, what could have been stitching. So I don't think I want to carry this into next year. I'd rather get it finished pretty quickly. So maybe when I get home, I'll pick it back up and finish it. I'm less than 1,000 stitches away from finishing. Like, I'm somewhere in the 800s. Yeah, so it's not a good day. But yeah, I guess that's it for this clip. I will not go on ad nauseum about all of this. Like I said, it was just very relevant to the stitching, because if I don't explain it, then it doesn't make a lot of sense. But yeah, all right, so that's it for this clip. The next clip will either be a finish on this, or it will be, my next priority is going to be Stitch for Pride. So see you in the next one. Bye. Hey everyone. It is currently Tuesday, November 12th, and here is my finish of the design. Is called Queen of Everything by Pickle Barrel Designs. Obviously, I heavily modified this. If you're new here, I will give the backstory about my color conversion specifically. So when President Biden dropped out of the presidential race, it was apparently the 1-year anniversary of the Barbie movie coming out. And so somehow, when he dropped and he endorsed Kamala Harris, somehow I got this pattern popped up in my brain. But the original pattern is done in 3 shades of purple and 2 shades of gold, or yellow gold. And I decided to turn it Barbie pink, and I went with this blue fabric because the movie poster for Barbie is the, pink bee with the with the blue background, like the sky. And I think that this is a Fiberlicious Yummy Fiber fabric, but I'm not entirely sure. I know it was a scrap because it's already cut, but I don't know like what I used it on. I even went back through my photos of all my finished cross stitch pieces and I didn't see anything that looked like this. So I actually don't really know where this fabric came from. But anyway, it is a 16 count. So when I first started, I was just gonna stitch it as called for, but with the pinks instead of the purples. But then I decided it would be, I guess at the time I was thinking like fun to sub out the royal motifs. Like in the original pattern, this over here was like a castle turret, like just like a tower of part of a castle, and this over here was a crown, and then down here was like a little fleur-de-lis scrolly motif. So I decided to put in a cat paw for the childless cat lady movement, and I put in a shoe because Kamala wears Converse a lot. And then the plan down here had been to stitch in either Harris Walls 24 or Kamala, but before I could get to that spot, the election results came in and we did not win, and so I stitched a Broken Heart and Ripjoy. And I had ordered pearls twice actually, and I had thought about doing the pattern's border. It has like a little 5-stitch, you know, like 1, 2, 3, and then 1 on each side of the 3, so a 5-stitch little 4-sided thing all the way around. But this was my second attempt at purchasing pearls for it, and even though these technically fit, they were just a little too big to crowd together. So I decided instead of doing a border on the piece, I would just spatter the pearls around. And yeah, so while I stitched throughout this morning at 7 o'clock in the morning right now, I finished the whole crosses, and then I pulled out the beads. I'll show you what I ended up settling on for what I used for beads, or pearls I should say. I got these Craft Metal-y pearl beads in the size 3mm. I couldn't find smaller ones that had holes. I had ordered this variety pack that the smallest size it had was 4mm, and those were just way too big. So I went searching for 2mm ones, but the best I could find readily, easily, that had holes were these 3mm ones. So I used those, and then I used this Sulky Invisible fine clear, and gotta say so it was such a pain in the butt. Like, I was just too worried about a color, you know, bleeding through, because obviously I did a lot of carrying to do all those pearls. But invisible thread is quite invisible, and it got caught on, so it got caught on the side of my Q-snap, and well, not like so far over that it was over here, but like it got caught like on the little fold of fabric, and I didn't catch that right away, and so literally it was stuck like that but I kept stitching. And so I ended up having this huge, you know, waste of string and it was in a loop. So I ended up just cutting the loop and then burying the tails. And then once one of the loops got caught on a purl on the front. And again, I didn't notice that for a while. And the space that it left on the back wasn't like long enough to do what I had done the last time to cut the tails. So I just had to keep like pulling that loop down and basically pulling it with my thread that I was still working with. It was so annoying. It took me like 3 hours to do these purls, and to the best of my ability to count them, there are 92. I counted it like twice and I came up with 92 both times. That's the number I'm gonna go with. Technically I should have only given myself credit for 46 stitches because of course these were only half crosses, but I was like, nah, F that. I'm giving myself credit for 92 stitches because it took me 3 hours. So yeah, this is done. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say about it. Well, I could just show you the flosses I used. I don't have one of them here. I put it somewhere because I knew I was done with it. And so the white that I did all silk, and the white that I used is a Stitchy Box silk in the colorway Jasmine. And yes, this was a 100-yard hank of white silk. That is, so the white in the shoe, and also it's a little kind of hard to tell, but I did fill in the negative space for Powerful because I didn't want it to be the blue coming through. So that's the white. The black, since I don't have it, the black in the paw and the black in the shoe was Stitchy Box Silk Bat Orchid. And then let's see, I talked about this in the last clip, but the black for the Rip Joy and the Broken Heart is this classic Colorworks Belswa Old Crow. I used it instead of the Stitchy Box Silk because, like I said, I'd used that silk already once to like help process grief. The gold that I ended up using when I was going to do the royal motifs, I had 2 gold yellow type colors picked out, but because I didn't, it did kind of feel weird to have Queen in the gold and nothing else really except in that border. But I used this Silken Colors in the colorway Gold Coast. And then the 3 pinks are all Bestitch Me. And I mean, I hope I did the Barbie colors justice. But I used the darkest one, which is in the shoe, and the word Powerful is Slushy. The medium one, which is the text, is called Rosy Cheeks, which is that color right there on the, yeah. And then the light pink, which I thought was so funny because I picked all these colors out in July, but then I didn't get to stitch that cat paw until this month. And I was like, oh, I already have a light pink picked out, so I'll just use that. Appropriately, it is called Toe Beans. And that's, so, like I said, hopefully I did the Barbie color palette justice. Yeah, So that is done. And I'm still very sad. I am when Trump won the election in 2016, I started watching political news. I had never watched political news in my life. I guess at that point I was 32, and because I was just so nervous and afraid and apprehensive, and the only thing I felt like I could do was just watch and consume the political news. I do that when there are shootings or terrorist attacks, or I have a lot of trauma around that kind of stuff growing up in the age of 9/11, and thankfully not in the age of school shootings, but I did know some people who were involved in a mass shooting. Actually, I've known 5 victims of mass shootings in 2 different mass shootings. And also the high school that is closest to me, just a couple miles away from me, had a mass shooting, and I indirectly know another person who was involved in that one. Mass shootings are very a little triggering for me. And so if a mass shooting happens, or a terrorist attack or something like that, my go-to is consume, even though it doesn't really make me it soothes my anxiety, it scratches my anxiety, but obviously it doesn't really do anything to make me feel better. But after this election result, I kind of feel like I'm not sure how much more information I can take in that I can't do anything about. So I'm trying to give up the political news. The last thing that I watched was almost a week ago, because it was Kamala's concession speech. I have not put on any political news since then, but yesterday was the hardest day, because the end of last week I was at the beach, and then I don't really watch any of the weekend people. I don't have people that I like to watch, and let's be honest, nothing's really breaking news over the weekend. So yesterday, Monday, was kind of the first hardest day to not watch the news. I'm gonna really try hard to see how that goes this week, and then talk to my therapist about it the week after that, because I'm pretty sure I know what she's gonna say. That it probably is the healthiest thing to just turn it off and not listen to it, but we'll see. But yeah, so that's where I am right now. I will show you a couple plans. So my next plan is to get out Stitch for Pride for November. I'm not prepared to talk about November's artist yet, because I have not done any learning, but I do have videos and articles queued up to listen to and watch. So Stitch for Pride is going to go in that spot right there, next to the blue and beneath the brown and the black. And I'm going to use this Threadworks. That was successful. This Threadworks silk. Actually pretty sure that I bought this on my Stitch North trip, but not at Stitch North. I bought it at a shop my friend and I went to in Kentucky, in Paducah, Kentucky, because my shop Acorns and Threads does not carry threadwork silk. Not that I've seen, at least. So it was something different to buy there, so I bought it there, pretty sure. And this is going to be the purple in my sampler, as I explained the last time I showed this. I'm pretty sure I am getting the entire Progress Pride flag rainbow in here. So we have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and then we move into the Progress Pride, or we move into the trans pride part. So pink, blue, there's gonna be a white here, and then we have brown, or black and brown, or brown and black, and then the gray is the only color that's not in the Progress Pride flag, but it is in the ACE flag. So the ACE flag colors are gray, black, white, purple. So I'm so happy with how this is coming out. It is fairly large drop, so I don't anticipate checking back in for a few days. I will evaluate the footage that I have and see if this is enough to do a part 1, November part 1. Probably is. So if this is my last clip, then thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, doing all those good YouTube things, and I'll see you in the next vlog. If it's not my last clip, then I'll see you in the next clip with my finish for Stitch for Pride November. See y'all in the next one. Bye. Hey everyone. It is currently Monday, November 18th, and I have my Stitch for Pride finish. This is Stitch for Pride by D's 20 Stitches, 16 count determination, dyed by Jessie at Mislaid Pages. And this artwork is inspired by the artist Molly Vaughn, who is a trans artist, and she creates garments as memorial pieces to trans people who have been murdered in the United States. Yeah, so not the lightest, fluffiest of topics, for sure. But she's got the process is very cool, as far as like how they come to be. She uses Google Maps, to get like street views and aerial views of the murder locations, and pulls in like various shapes and colors and excuse me, to make the patterns that are then printed onto fabric and sewn and embellished, and it's a very cool expression of some very, heavy and tragic things. But yeah, so November is done. As you can see, we have the big spot here left for December. I cannot show you this whole thing in one shot. Well, that's not bad. There we go. So yep, January, February, March, April, May. The yellow one down there is June. The blue variegated is July. The brown one is August. The orange is September, the black is October, and now the purple is November. And I'm so, like, I just love that this is going to be all the Progress Pride flag colors when we're done. And then with the addition of the gray to include the ace colors. I've already picked my floss for next month because I need a white, so we're going with white. We're gonna make it work. The only thing that I wish that I would have done is, I love how the people who are doing, you know, they took the blue from January and they put it into February, and then they took the green from February and put it into March. That was the first time that occurred to me because I really did want a green cap, but I would have had to like unpick some of February to put the blue in. And then, I mean, in retrospect, I should have just done it. Because then, like, so easily, I would have put the red as the backstitch letters or words down here. And then this pink, I probably would have filled in the little house on this. And then the gray, I mean, I don't know, like, I don't think the gray would have married very well with the yellow, but I could have just done, like, the doodads in the gray. And then, let's see, the yellow would have had to go into here, and I could have just picked a square to do yellow. And then that blue would have needed to go into the hand. I think it would have been really cool to do that blue as, like, the background little diamonds. And then the brown would have needed to come up here. Again, just do one of those triangles in that. This orange would have had to be over here, and I probably would have done the face in the orange, or maybe like the nose. And then the black from this one, I would have done it like as the belt for the dress. So yeah, and then obviously that purple would have to go into December, and then I would have had to have saved somewhere over here to put the white. Yeah, but every time I take this off the Q-snap, I love it even more. I'm really happy with it. And I'm thinking, so I definitely will be dropping this off to be fully finished probably in January, because I don't think I'm going to the shop in December. Probably going to have a wall hanging made, and I have a pride flag that my friend got me when we went to Stonewall when we were in New York. And I think I want to make a space to hang that in our, it's technically a spare bedroom, but like we don't have a bed in there, and like nobody ever comes to stay here, so, but it is technically a spare bedroom. I think I want to make space in there to hang that flag, and then also hang this with it. It'll kind of suck because like nobody will ever see it. I mean, I guess I would see it pretty much every day, but because we keep, my brother-in-law, who's mentally disabled, we keep his clothes in that room, because he cannot be trusted to access his clothes. Otherwise he'll just like change his shirt 12 times, or like try to get to dirty clothes because he's attached to it or whatever. So we keep his clothes in that room. So my husband and I both do go into that room every day. But but yeah, I love this. I'm gonna have to find the perfect fabric for it, to become a wall hanging. And then, like I said, I want to hang up that pride flag that came from the Stonewall Inn. And yeah, so, and then I should get myself an ace flag. Probably won't get something as big. My pride flag is like an actual like flag, like the size that you would find that people, like when people buy an American flag to put on their like porch, you know, next to their door or whatever. It's like that size. So I'll find an ace flag, probably not as big though, and put that all up. So, and then, so now that that is done, I am moving on to, this is The Pumpkin Patch by Caroline Manning, and it is my Team 14 count round robin piece for this year that, well, sorry, it's not my piece. It is Megan's piece, and it has come to me via Mandy. Pretty sure that it went Megan, and then way over there on the other side would have been what Michelle stitched, and then this would have been what Mandy stitched, and now I'm going to finish that corner. I'm pretty sure that this is oriented right, but I'm going to get a closer look at which way all the X's are going with my magnifiers just to make sure. We had a slight boo-boo with the ink circles one. I mean, Megan didn't care. None of us cared. But there were, in fact, some X's going a different way on the ink circles one. So I'm going to just try to be, like, double safe and sure that they're all going the same way. So I'm going to get started on this. It's a little over 1,700 stitches, so I anticipate working on it for literally my last stitchy week was 1,700 stitches, so this could take me a week. I don't want it to take me a week, so we'll see. I am having my COVID shot today in about 12 hours, so we'll see how I feel after that. I'm usually okay after a COVID vaccine. My husband is not usually okay. He spends the next day feeling like he has the flu, like just cold, achy, tired, a little nauseous. I'm usually okay. Maybe just like a little extra tired, and I definitely shouldn't exert myself. But yeah, so we'll see. I think every time is a little bit of a different experience. So I'm gonna get cracking on this, and I will see y'all in the next clip. Bye. Hey everyone. It is currently Tuesday, November 26th, and I'm checking in with my finish. So this, I don't know, I probably gave you the details, I don't know, but we'll do it again. This is Caroline Manning Pumpkin Patch. It's one of 4 smalls that come with the chart, and this is one of my round robin pieces. It's the last round robin piece from my Team 14 count round robin, and I know that this fabric is a 14 count Stony Creek, but I don't think that Megan remembered the name, and it's all the called for DMC, and this is the last one that I had to do. My piece, which is the night before Christmas. We all picked Caroline Manning pieces, so they're all Caroline Manning, is currently residing with Mandy. She will be doing the last quarter of mine, and yeah, so what's exciting about this for me is that since my stitching obligation is fulfilled, I got to mark that as a finish on my spreadsheet. So technically I'm like down a whip, you know? And yeah, so I'm really excited to have this done. I will be holding on to it though for a while. She's gonna live with me for a little while because Canada Post is on strike, and it's already been a week or a week and a half, and The people that I hear from say that there is not currently an end in sight. And I mean, I can't even fathom, just the backup that 2 weeks is gonna cause. And so I've told Megan that I will hold on to her peace until she feels that, they've worked through the backlog. And, now we're going into the holiday season too, which last year I finished her piece in October, and I was like, I'm gonna get this out the door, well ahead of the holiday rush, because, during the holidays, it's just easier for things to go missing. And so I don't want this. I was already like, oh, let me get it out by the end of the month, like I feel like if I at least have it out the door before December 1st, then that should be okay. But, yeah, the universe had other plans because the strike. And I'm just so glad, I'm just so grateful, that I didn't get it in the mail before the strike and before it could end up reaching her, because, if her piece got lost, that would be horrible. So gonna hold on to this until that clears up, but I'm just gonna put it back in its project bag and keep it safe. I really don't know what I'm going to work on next. I really kind of want to do a Quirky Quaker. There is a Quirky Quaker turkey, and we're 2 days away from Thanksgiving. But if I'm being like totally honest, I just don't want to dig through my stuff to find materials to start a new thing. I am in the middle, actually, of a craft storage reorganization, which I'm gonna make a totally separate video about. I really wish that I had started like documenting it from the beginning of like what the room looked like prior. I have like one picture that can sort of give an idea of what it looked like. But basically, I have a spare bedroom that has not been being utilized for really anything. And I finally decided to take the plunge to move the majority of my stuff upstairs to the spare bedroom. But it's a lot of work because I had to like order some things to properly, hold things like floss and fabric and yeah, but like, you guys, I'm so excited for what it's going to be. It's going to be my own little cross stitch shop. Like, it is already looking like my own little cross stitch shop. And it's so cool. So I'm gonna make a separate video when I do get it done. But like, I just don't know if I can like muster trying to find 3 flosses and a piece of fabric to do a Quirky Quaker. So if I don't do that, the only whip that I haven't touched this year is the Nutcracker by RATM. So that definitely needs to come out, pronto. Like, it will get worked on sometime between now and the end of the year. But I'm also, like, part of why I want to do the Quirky Quaker is because I'm not gonna have, I feel like this next week is gonna be wild. Today, my husband has an appointment, and then I'm going out with my aunt. Tomorrow I'm going to Acorns for Whip Wednesday. Oh, maybe I should just not stitch the rest of today and then take my Quirky Quaker to Acorns and purchase floss for it there. And, well, not fabric, because I can't reliably get fabric there because they don't care. So they mostly carry linen and a little bit of even weave, but that's all Lugana, and we've had this conversation about how much I hate Lugana, And then most of their Ada is like crunchy, you know, like Charles Craft DMC Ada, you know, like they don't usually have a lot of hand dyed unless they have a trunk show in. So I would have to take my own fabric, but the 14 count fabric is easy. I usually do Quirky Quakers on 14 count. So, but all that to say is Wednesday, I'm going to be gone all day. And then Thursday is Thanksgiving. And in order to have Thanksgiving, we're not having anybody over, but we just like make a dinner for ourselves, and we just do like easy versions of everything, like stovetop stuffing and, you know, like some not like instant mashed potatoes, but like, you know, like the refrigerated already cooked mashed potatoes, you know, like canned cranberry sauce, like all the like easy out of a can or box stuff. But in order to have Thanksgiving dinner, I have to get my dining room table cleared off. And in order to get my dining room table cleared off, I have to finish building some stuff that's for the spare room. I have to get some packages ready to go to the post office, which I'm going to do that on Friday. But like they need, the things for the packages are all over the dining room table. Then Friday, all I have to do, well, I have an appointment that may or may not happen on Friday, and then I have to go to the post office. And then Saturday, I'm having one of my friend's sons come help me get Christmas like set up, because like it's just too many things for my executive dysfunction. And so it's really helpful for me to have somebody available to me for just like a couple hours to be like, okay, grab this and take it there, grab this and take it there. And then like once everything is in the spaces, then I can kind of, you know, do the things over a few days. So Saturday, and then also because of the spare bedroom reorganization, there's so much stuff upstairs that has to come downstairs to either donate, sell, or trash. So I'm gonna have him help me like get everything downstairs. And then my garage is gonna have like exploded between Christmas and donations and trash and stuff. And then I will inevitably spend probably another 3 days like with what is normally some of my craft time, having to like do the fine tuning of the Christmas decorating. So I feel like for the next week, it's going to be real light stitching. And I'm like, maybe I don't think I want to work on like a big whip. So that's why I think like maybe I should do 2 Quirky Quakers, the turkey, and then pick a Christmas one. Yeah. So all that to say is I don't really know what I'm going to do next. But I will film one more clip at the end of the month. So in 4 days, whatever, just to show you what I did. So we'll see in future what I decide to do in the next couple days. I will let you go for this clip, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey, Flosstube. It's Danielle. I don't know why I'm starting this like I'm starting a whole new Flosstube clip or video when it's the last clip of this vlog. It's Saturday, November 30th, and I told you I would show you what I got up to before the end of the month, and I decided to stitch this. I saw somebody on Flosstube show this, and like, if you know me, if you've been around, you probably know I'm not a religious type, but I have a very good friend who is, and I saw the person on Flosstube showing this, and was like, oh, like every once in a while I do see like religious imagery that I like or appreciate, but like I still don't want it like in my house. So I usually take the opportunity to think, oh, I could do that for my friend Julie. And Julie happens to be coming over today with one of her sons to help me pull out all the Christmas stuff. And I was like, I wonder if I could get it done before she comes. And I did. This is called Mary Did You Know by like a new creation studio, I think, on Etsy. And so I started this on Wednesday and I finished it on Friday, and I popped it in this hoop. I knew I had this hoop because of the craft room reorganization, and which that's nowhere near ready to show you yet, sorry. And then don't at me, but like I just glued this piece of felt on the back. It looks terrible. But at least it hides the back itself. But yeah, so it's done and fully finished. And yeah, so Julia's coming in like 20 minutes, but let me just show you. So like kind of, so this whole area, which I can't even get it all in. This whole hutch, it's actually a bookcase, but this will get decorated, undecorated, and all Christmas decoration. And then this bookshelf here, which is also just full of decoration, will get packed up, and this is where my tree goes. And we have a 9-foot tree, so it goes up above the stairs. And then I'll show you the other 2 areas that get decorated that they don't look like anything good right now. This is where all my cross-stitch stuff is normally. This whole back area, the two tables that are IKEA, so those 2 tables right there, will be staying. That gray folding table and fan will not be staying. And back there I put my Christmas village and some other Christmas decor. And then the last area that gets decorated is down here, the entryway. I have a much smaller Christmas village that I put over here on this table. It was my grandma's. And then over here, I just have some more decor that I put on this table. And actually, while we're here, look at him. He came back from the framer. And I'm just gonna leave him here right now, I think. I think he'll work there with the other decor. The thing that I normally put on that nail that was there, I'm not putting up this year, so I think he can stay there. And then, look, I don't think I showed you. I put what remains on the wall here in the hallway, along with 2 other pieces. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for this clip. And actually for this month. Yeah, I will next month. If I stitch something today, you'll just see it next month. And I can show you how the Christmas decor comes out. And like I said, I will be filming a separate video of my new craft room. So that's it. Thanks everybody for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, doing all that good YouTube algorithm stuff, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!